What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to do a little how-to video on breakaways in NHL 25. I know we're a little bit late into the year, but I've played plenty of World of Chell this year and even Ultimate Team and the other modes, and I've kind of seen people like I just did there. I still struggle with them anyway. Still struggle with them anyway, even though I've gotten a little better at them. Just overall, people struggling with breakaways this year. You know what it is? It's like each and every year the game, even though the game doesn't change that much, they change it enough in ways that can kind of make people just struggle with something that they were really good at the year. Like last year, I was just whether it was a use like an actual player goalie, like somebody controlling the goalie in World of Chell, or computer goalie, I was money on breakaways. Like I did not miss them. I got a breakaway, it was going in 9 out of 10 times. This year, I would say the rate is probably like 6 out of 10. But when the year started, it was even where I couldn't figure it out. So I wanted to make this video in case anybody is still struggling with them. And maybe you've gotten to a point you're like, what am I doing wrong? It is February and I still can't freaking score on breakaways. So my approach, as you guys can see here, is it's a pretty much like a quick little backhand move. So like I prefer coming in from a certain angle, but you see the goalie can still poke check you there, right? But really it's just this quick pull to the backhand that has worked very well for me, like that. Boom. It's just this quick backhand move and you can kind of pull it off from this is as a lefty obviously. If you are a lefty, let's say you're coming in from the left. You see how I kind of threw that leg kick? If you have space, the leg kick can actually create a little bit of, it kind of makes the goalie hesitate a little bit. So, but the move is essentially the same. It's just that quick backhand that, again, it's not 100%, but it has worked for me the most out of anything this year. And it's crazy because I've been playing this game for so long. I have been playing NHL for, oh man, since 2006 was my first. '06 was my first console game on GameCube. I played '04 on the PC, so I've been on this game for over 20 years. And you know, it it's so frustrating when you get to a point on the game where you're like, I can't score breakaways now. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's so, but it makes you kind of have to adjust and figure out, like, okay, I guess, I got to just change it up a little bit. So in years past, it would be like, maybe you'd come in backhand, backhand, something like that. For this year, forehand works a little well too. But you don't always have that. I feel like you don't always have the angle to do that. So like, say you're coming in like this, to go forehand from that angle isn't going to work as well. Whereas I feel like the backhand, just a quick pull of the backhand, you can have that from any way that you come in. But again, it's not 100%. As you can see, I missed some of them, but you see, boom, worked that time. It's a pretty solid rate. Now, when it comes to righties, I've told both my friends that I play with, they're righties, and I tell them to do the same move, and it works pretty well for them. So I'm not going to show myself doing it as a righty. I'm more comfortable as a lefty, but it does work pretty well as a lefty too. So again, if you guys are struggling with breakaways this year, whether it's in World of Chell or Hut or Versus, I would say try that. See, now we're getting a little bit of a rhythm. Try that little bit, just that quick backhand pull. See, just it's a very, and I'll go into the replay so you guys can see it a little better. So there is, you hold it out to your forehand very quickly. Like, I haven't been saying forehand backhand because it's so fast. Like, in the past I feel like you would hold, you'd be more exaggerated in your movements, and this year it's more about like, okay, you got to kind of do it a little bit quicker than you normally would. Now, another thing that I noticed is when it comes to kind of your player's reach. So I actually switched to Moonlight Power Forward in World of Chell because I was struggling so much with breakaways as a sniper because I was a smaller build and I felt like the reach, like the reach of the player wasn't, it just wasn't giving me the opportunity that I wanted on breakaways. And then I switched to Moonlight, and Moonlight's a pre-built for those of you guys that don't know, and he's I think 6'6", two something. I don't know the weight, but it doesn't matter for this context. But he's 6'6", and he just has that reach that allows for this type of breakaway move to work very well. Now, it still, you should be able to do it as a sniper anyway. You just have to adjust your, like, let's or any build for that matter. If you are smaller, you gotta kind of play around with the speed that you do the move, the way that you come in. Now, one thing that I will also say, I mean, it kind of ties into it, is the penalty shots. Penalty shots are some definitely like struggle number two when it comes to this, when it comes to, just one-on-one with the goalie. And I think penalty shots are way easier to have success on because you're the one who determines which way you come in from. You're the one that determines the speed, all of it, right? You're in full control of how you want the penalty shot to go. So this is obviously against, computer goalie. But basically what I do on the penalty shots is, like, I'll come in as a lefty. I actually like to make a move like that. And I miss it. But go figure, right? I mean, you're not gonna always hit him. You're not gonna always hit him. But basically I come in, I do that move, right? I go through the legs, and then that backhand, there it is. All right, that's I do that every single time. I don't know what it is about the through the legs, but it kind of gets the goalie to bite. Like you can see there, that's a perfect example of it. It gets the goalie to just move just a little bit. So you see, I skate over the blue line, go through the legs, and then something happens with the goalie where you see how he moves over? You see how he just moves over a little bit to the left, and that little hesitation gives you the opportunity to then make that forehand backhand move, and he's not getting across. He's not going to poke check you as long as you make the move, and timing wise you do it the right way. You'll score this basically every time on penalty shots. Basically every time. So penalty shots, way easier to master if you want to go into practice mode and just mess around with this. Like, you could get penalty shots down very easily. You could, at this point, my penalty shot percentage has gone way up recently. Like I'm getting almost every time that I go on them now, as opposed to beginning of the year, where beginning of the year I wasn't doing as well on them. Now I'm starting to score way more consistently on them. So, excuse me, I would recommend going into practice mode, messing around. Penalty shots, you can absolutely get down pat. Like this move will work majority of the time. As a lefty, again, right, when it comes to righties, I still think I've seen my friends do this move pretty consistently, so I do think you can score on them pretty regularly as a righty too. You just have to kind of find the rhythm, but it's pretty similar. But lefty, I can guarantee you this move, penalty shot, definitely gonna work for you. Like, just stick to this. And through the legs motion included. Like, I don't just do that for flair. I do it because, again, it gets the goalie to move just that little bit to set up that move. So definitely go practice that if you are struggling with the penalty shots a little bit. I'll try one more here. So you get him to move. And see, that one was my mistake, but because I did it too early. But you can see, again, goalie cuts over just the way that you want him to, and you see I did it too early. But he did bite the same way. And that's essentially, like, that's how you know, like, okay, this move is working the way that you want it to, even if you're not scoring it every single time. It's getting the goalie to do something similar. That, there you go, got it that time. And see, that's just execution. It has nothing to do with, like, okay, the goalie's unpredictable. Like, no, he is predictable on that move. It's just up to you to execute it. And I still make the mistake. Like I said, even if you get good at the breakaways and penalty shots, like, you will still, unless you're a superhuman freak of nature, which there are some in the NHL gaming community, but for us normal players that don't score every single breakaway, I'm not one of them. I still miss them. But for those of us that don't score every single time, it comes down to that execution, getting those reps in, just finding that move that works. This one, to me, it's pretty efficient. through the legs, get the goalie the bite, forehand, quick move to the backhand like that. That's it's gonna penalty shots 100%. Breakaways again. Obviously on breakaways you're not gonna be like the reason I started this video and I wasn't really showing like doing this move. You're not gonna have the opportunity to do that, right? You're not gonna have the opportunity to make a through the legs deke and then go backhand on breakaways in the game. So you're gonna have to kind of find that adaptation to that move that can work in those quick moments in a game. And still, that to me, the backhand is your best option. The reason I talked about the leg kick before too was because that is something that you can do in the game. So if you have a pretty clean breakaway and you're coming in from the left side as a lefty, it's throwing that little leg kick. I don't know what it is, but it's another just kind of gets the goalie to hesitate a little bit. Again, execution has to be there. If your execution isn't there on the move, it doesn't matter what like there it is. And that one executed it the right way. But I don't know what it is. That leg kick just seems to work in game. Definitely try it out. If you're a lefty coming in from the left side, throw that leg kick, get him the bite. Same way, seems to work. And play around with it as a righty too. These are moves that you should be able to do as a righty as well. You have to kind of play around with it, see how it works, but you should be able to do it. Like I said, I've seen it, work in game for both lefties and righties. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to mess around a little bit in practice rank, show you guys what I'm doing on breakaways this year, in case you guys are still struggling with them. Again, this is mainly World of Chell focused, but it translates to the rest of the game as well. So go to the practice rank, test these moves out. I hope this video helped. Hope it was informative. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.